we'll have fun. That's the point.
Absolutely. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this message. I'm Thomas Fessler, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Monday, everybody. Did you have a good weekend? Never long enough here, friends, never long enough. Would you look at that? It's December 8th, barreling on till Christmas. Any Christmas disclosure presents coming this year? Oh, I don't think so, but let's have a fun time anyway. On that note, let's go ahead and welcome in our chat. See who the heck we have out there. In the chat tonight, we have Amanda, Anonymous Rex. I see Black Rectangle, not Black Triangle, I should say. Bradley's here along with Brennan England. We got Craig Smith. Captain K is around. Okay. That says something. Craig Smith is here along with Digger Dog. We have Eli McGinnis. Cosmo showed up. Good to see Cosmo Fang. Long time no see. Popped up right in front of me. Digger Dog's here along with Eli McGinnis, Firefly, Geraldine Durazio, Grateful Bunny, Gray Hair Discoveries is there along with Jan, JJ, Joey Stoner's around along with Joshua, Kathy, Kelly Brote, and those piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, Kelly. We got Marcus Mandel, Megan Betts, Metal Gaming's here as well. Mississippian is around. Not Mississippi Martian, but Mississippian. We'll take that. Neil Morgan's here along with Niles Guy, our resident pitbull. Nathan Forrest just popped up. Good to see you, Nathan. We got Patrick the Mysterious. Ooh, is here. He's not in the back, though, unfortunately. I think he's staking out the local Golden Corral for another sighting of Lou Buffet, but you never know. Rainbow's around. We got Real Mr. X. Good to see you. Rodney Cox, Ross Cole, Wrecked. Sam's here along with Scooby Dooby Gooby, Shelly Montgomery, Shinobi One Kenobi, Stargazer 46.5 and 2, Super Unknowns here along with the Chromosome Cowboy, the Fern Dude, the Wasteland, Truth Seeker, Turtlehead, and Yellow Tommy Tanker. How about that? Made it all the way through. You never know when it's gonna happen, and I can usually say, Mike, how the hell are you, my friend?
Doing well. This is going to be another interesting Monday night show.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a lot to talk about, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, my friend. It should be a good one. We pulled this together, and it was kind of like, what the hell are we going to talk about today? But we had plenty of stuff. There's things, something's old, something new again, I know, although... The history of USOs, although it's backwards, some Richard Dolan, deluxe edition hardback, yes. He's been covering it a lot, but, they keep on going back, Mike, and talking about these guys coming from under the ocean. It's the most obvious thing. Where can you go and hide? Right. Well, you're not going to get wiped out every 12,000 years or 6,000 years, whatever it is, that we get the whole earth sloshing around and the surface gets wiped every single time. How do you stay away from those pesky humans that like throw nuclear poo at you? Go to the bottom of the ocean. Not on top of the ocean floor, but you go under the ocean floor and you dig in deep. You could live there for millions of years if you wanted to and never get disturbed.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do come from the ocean. It's probably these guys, the Greys. They've got the same color of like a frickin' dolphin, don't they? The Greys?
Could be, yeah. A lot of the sea creatures down there in the dark.
Yeah, well, dolphins do like to come to the surface, porpoises, that kind of stuff, but either way, yeah. Not our friendly type. That's a fact. They say that the... who are the tall blondes again called? Not
Nordics.
The Nordics, yeah, you got the Nordics. The Nordics are the ones who were like the split off of the human civilization at a perfect time, kind of like Atlanteans to a degree.
Yep.
But these guys, these are not the friendly ones.
No, these are the ones that are completely different from human beings. Totally alien.
Oh, yeah.
Not what we're used to.
Yeah. And we don't take any human traits and bestow them on them and say, oh, they're good. They love us. They're here to help us.
Right.
No, not at all. Syrup, you have your hand up, my friend. Jump in.
Yeah, didn't David Grush say the Greys were like way more advanced than us, and then the Nordics were only
Couple hundred years. Yeah. Great catch.
Actually, David Grush said that the biologics that the U.S. government has been in possession of all these years is, in fact, the gray type that people who have been abducted have repeatedly described. He confirmed that when he had that secret meeting with the VIPs on Wall Street.
Yeah, and I've seen things on Twitter today where they're talking about it. Gee, where is that one that came from, Mr. Morris? I'm going to shut that down. There was a post that came out today. Let me see if I can bring this around here. Let's get the one from Mike. This is coming from the, you know the Disclosure Party, don't you, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah. Get to there. Let's bring this one up. Ad hoc today. Here we go. All right, coming to us from the Disclosure Party. Actually, this is from the dailymail.co.uk. A former U.S. intelligence official turned whistleblower, David Grush, stated that POTUS has been fully briefed on the UFO crash programs and reverse engineering. And I think something was saying here that he was actually briefed them on, they're just talking about the news article we saw, but we'll jump into it. President Donald Trump has allegedly been fully briefed on what the U.S. government has been keeping secrets about UFOs and alien life living among humans. I don't think that's what Grush said, is it, Mike? I think that's more bullshit coming from the Daily Mail.
Of course. The liner of the bird is the Daily Mail. That's what it's good for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the New York Post. Green Street's rag that he works for.
Oh, yeah. So let's pull this over here. President Trump has been fully briefed on what the government has been keeping secret about UFOs and alien life living among humans. In a recent interview, David Grush claimed,
no, he didn't.
No, the Trump received reports on crashed spacecraft and non-human remains retrieved by the U.S., the origin of these beings and their intentions. Grush, a current advisor to UAP Task Force. By the way, Mike, it's been extended another 6 months.
Oh, has it?
Yes, it has. That was confirmed by Comer yesterday, I believe.
Okay. Well, what's interesting about that is, a task force is a temporary body, and they're not really allowed to extend it more than once. So how are they going to get around that little obstacle?
Subcommittee.
Any idea?
It'll have to be a subcommittee of oversight. Now, the question is, do they need Mike Johnson's approval to do it? But if they're doing it under the guise, not of the UAP caucus, but under the National Secrets Disclosure Task Force, they might be able to get their subcommittee on that. Maybe?
That would be good, maybe.
Yeah.
But they've been fighting against giving the UAP caucus that subcommittee for years now. And I don't think they've changed their position on that, to be honest with you.
No, they haven't.
I think what they're going to do with the task force is they're going to change its goals.
Yeah.
And they're going to make it look for something different than what was advertised to be able to legally extend it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. They're never going to get that subcommittee. I wish they were.
We'll find out. Maybe Comer has something up his sleeves. You never know where it's going to go. What he'll bring out the truth-wise. I guess time will tell. We can always go ahead. Go ahead, Syrup. As soon as I'm done here, they can always.
Do you think the new? I know they were going to make a couple of. Do you think they're going to give them subpoena power or no?
They could get subpoena power now if they go to Comer, but even if they wanted to get subpoena power, the subpoenas that would have to be approved by, I believe, the committee itself, right, Mike? That's what we've heard.
Yes.
Before Comer said, just ask me, you can get whatever you want. But a clarification came after they extended this the first time to let them know that, if you want to get a subpoena, we have to go ahead and get everyone's approval.
Which means it'll never happen.
Right.
That was a polite no.
Yeah. Just like it'll never happen, we'll never see physical evidence because no physical evidence has ever been presented publicly that would back up the stories by countless civilian scientists and military personnel over the decades who have claimed to have seen or interacted with beings from another world. Yeah, this brings the whole experiencer thing in, Mike. Just like they're not going to be willing to go ahead and say, look, we've got a chunk of metal from this craft. They're never going to admit that They've been aware of citizens of the United States, or the world for that matter, being abducted, because that just opens up a whole legal can of worms, doesn't it?
Oh my God, that's the last thing they ever want to touch base on. Ever.
Yeah.
That would just make things out of their tight control, the way that they keep everything locked down.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're going to keep this buried as long as they can.
Yeah. So about that claim, Grush allegedly told members of Congress that Trump was even briefed during his term about the existence of multiple alien races. That would be the Nordics and the Greys, and how one species has been crossbreeding with humans.
Yeah,
but, you know, there are ancient stories and texts about this kind of stuff that go back to the Sumerians.
Yeah?
It's nothing new.
No.
They want to act like it's new. And, yeah, generations ago or a long time ago it's been going on. And probably you'll look at a lot of different evidence that's out there in ancient India, especially ancient India. You see some of the stuff that's with a big question mark over it in ancient Egypt. Head over to Peru, the Andes Mountains. There are some amazing things going on there, Mike, that just... But you know what? If some of these places we're talking about, Mike, they're not just the cradle of civilization. It's the parts of the planet when every so often we get those giant waves that come in that just wipes everything out.
Yeah, except for the highest land masses. That's where civilization
right.
tends
But
to
a majority
survive.
of India, except a little bit part of southern India and Africa, just below the Sahara,
Right.
that all survives. Then South Africa gets wiped out. But, you know, landmass wise, those are the two biggest chunks that come unscathed. But don't forget, there's a lot of times when they're digging, 40, 60 feet down in southern India under layers and layers of all of this sand that came from somewhere. They're finding all these ancient temples that were buried in a huge deluge in the past.
Yeah, isn't something similar to that with Göbekli Tepe in Turkey? They uncovered that ancient city, but that predates modern civilization.
Yeah, if
That
you
one is also buried, wasn't it?
yeah, but if you listen to oh God, how do we get into this? If you listen to archaeologists, they're going to say that's before humanity was advanced. Excuse me?
Right.
Sphincter say what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that. I mean, the ancient pyramids, probably at least 30,000 years, if not up to 60,000 years old. All the ancient ruins we have down in Peru and in the Andes Mountains, right?
Right.
There are like 3,000, 4,000, up to 7,000 feet elevated in the air where it's nice and safe. You got to wonder, why were they going ahead and growing all that stuff up there, Mike, and putting their civilization so high on the planet? Maybe because everything below that area where they were at was covered in water. I mean, the ancient, the local Indian tribes here have stories of when the great floods came in the past, and it was really warm water that came in during the flood. But more importantly, when it happened, a lot of the local Indian tribes went in canoes, but they didn't make it, unfortunately, because they were getting taken down by the trees. But the water came almost all the way up to where the snow was on Mount Tahoma, or the Mountain Tahoma, which is Mount Rainier, pretty high up.
Oh, yeah. Really high up.
Yeah.
And it's not just the pyramids in Egypt. They found that there are pyramids all over the world. China, Turkey, Mexico, South America, the Mayans, the Aztecs. These objects tend to predate humanity. It's like they were there all along and we found it.
Yeah. This is
Still
kind
don't know what they do.
This is the kind of stuff that happens every 12,000 years. Yeah, but it's actually probably even taller than that, Mike, because that's only a couple 100 feet tall. We're talking about waves coming in that are a mile high, over 3,000 feet high.
Which is just insane. It's like something out of a bad movie.
Oh, I know, but there's evidence. I mean, look at the salt flats we have. Where did all that salt come from? Oh yeah, there was ocean water at the time. Look up in Alaska, where they've got some place called the Boneyard, and they're finding all these different animals, ocean life and land animals like saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths and all this just different life, all piled in layer and layer, in the same layer of areas. So how are you going to get all that kind of life, sea life, and the massive life of mammals on the planet at that time in the same place, all buried together? It's because something big happens.
Right. And this has been going on forever.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. And it looks like at one point we'll be facing something like that again.
Oh yeah.
In the future.
Interesting. One of the, I call it a vision I had during meditation. I did see something like a giant pyramid in a tropical area, and the water came in a big deluge and, basically covered everything with water. But then when the water drained away, everything that was around the pyramids was completely gone. All, if you want to call the vegetation and any of the stuff that was on the ground around it was just little chunks of rubble and everything else. It just destroys everything. Yeah. Why I've been seeing this stuff since I've been, 5-6 years old, I have no idea, but I've seen it too many times and it just becomes old hat on my side. On that note, getting away for a second of, what's going on or what is potentially heading our way. We've got some interesting videos here, Mike. Let me go ahead and find this and bring it up. The first one that we've got is coming to us from Elizabeth Vargas Reports.
Okay.
This one came in before the special talking with Ross Coulthart and everything about USOs and the aliens from the deep. Let's go ahead and play this one clip that we've got here. And then I've got another interview clip coming from the actual show with Ross Coulthart, and a conversation between him and the ever-absent Tim Burchette. So let's play this. Here we go, folks.
If you follow the UFO issue, you have probably noticed that many of the most compelling encounters in recent years have happened between unidentified craft and U.S. Navy assets. The famed USS Nimitz Tic Tac is just one example. Whatever they are, these things seem to spend a lot of time around water. Now, that has fueled speculation that aliens might be living on the ocean floor instead of above our heads in space. That fascinating theory is the basis for the latest News Nation special, Reality Check with Ross Coulthart, Underwater UFOs. It airs this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Ross and his team investigate reports of a mysterious underwater UFO highway. Yeah, you heard that right. Tens of thousands of unidentified submersible objects, or USOs, as they're called, have been sighted off United States shorelines, most frequently off the coast of California. That's where the team met a boat captain who was speaking out for the first time about his harrowing encounter with several color-changing orbs.
And that's what really interests us with your case, because how long would you say the total duration from when you saw these things? You have a couple minutes on that video, but if you were to say from start to stop on one set of those orangish lights, how long were they up in the air?
Probably, I was witnessing them flying close to my boat for about 10 minutes. There's some smaller ones off in the distance you don't see in the video, but it started out like as 3 orbs that were close together, like in a triangular pattern, and they'd all kind of they were changing colors from red, black, orange, some weird oddball stuff, and they would merge together as one, and then they'd split off. There'd be 2 of them, then there'd be 1, then there'd be 3 of them, and at certain points they'd just disappeared altogether and would just reappear. They'd drop down close to the water, like right above the water, and started coming towards me.
All right, here to preview his special is Ross Coulthart. Ross, great to have you back on the show. So what is it about the coast of California? Why do you think we have so many reported encounters there?
hello, Elizabeth. Look, I don't think it's a coincidence that California is the home to some of the biggest aerospace companies in America. And it's also probably the closest point where if you were a non-human civilization, you could hide yourself very successfully in thousands of meters of water with a reasonable degree of certainty that you wouldn't be detected. There are, as we know, huge gulfs of water just off the coast of California. The Baja California area is where the U.S. Nimitz incident happened in 2004. And we know also that there's been repeated sightings of anomalous phenomena, not just that boat captain, Thor, but many, many dozens, in fact, hundreds of sightings have taken place around Catalina Island, just off the coast of L.A. And I guess I'm only speculating here, but if you were an alien civilization, 71% of the planet's surface is water. And if you're looking for a neutral environment that's temperature consistent with low light where you want to hide, if there is an alien species targeting this planet, and a lot of people think there is, including certain congressmen, that would be the place to hide.
Yeah, and I have noted on the show before, 27% of the ocean is mapped out by humans. We've mapped out 27% of our oceans. We know more about the surface of Mars and the surface of the moon than we do about our own oceans.
That's so true. And Elizabeth, I'll tell you, I've spoken to submariners who are working out of the submarine fleet with nuclear submarines up near Seattle there. And they've told me that they've recorded anomalous phenomena moving faster than the speed of sound underwater. Like that's let's say faster than 1,000 knots underwater.
Hold on a second here. Tim, I think you're in the back. Have you ever heard any of the sailors from Bangor Island that he's talking about, the Trident missile base? Have you ever heard of any of the sailors there mentioning anything about things that they've seen? I haven't. That's new.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah, well,
They usually don't talk about it.
Tim's parents were from that area, really close to it. That's why I was just bringing it up to see if he's ever heard anything about that. Sounds like he may be off, but yeah, let's continue on.
Water. We don't have any craft in the human technology.
No, all that pressure, the water pressure, it's hard to swim in the ocean.
Okay, USOs or UFOs aren't subject to the water pressure because they have a gravitational warp field around it. Whatever's going on the outside of that gravitational warp field has no bearing on the inside of it. So clearly, Elizabeth is a little uneducated, but that's okay. We love her anyway.
And, you can't run across a swimming pool very fast the way you can run on ground. It is hard to move fast at all under ocean.
Yeah, so we have this very silly situation where even under the current administration, there's a kind of a denial about the possibility of non-human intelligence or NHI. But the people who are coming forward to me and to Ben Hansen in this story are basically people who've worked on the water around Catalina Island. We've spoken to people in the military, and there is a vast number of people who are willing to go on the record to say they have witnessed anomalous phenomena underwater doing extraordinary things.
Just a yes or no answer, because this will be a teaser, but do their stories, are they describing the same thing or a bunch of different things that they're seeing?
Very much the same thing.
Okay.
Very much the same thing.
Very, very interesting. And by the way, to your point that California is the home to so many military bases, we know that many of the UFO sightings on land are also over nuclear facilities or sensitive defense installations. So, Ross Coulthart, thanks so much. The special is Underwater UFOs. It airs Saturday at 8 p.m. right here on News Nation. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now.
Interesting enough, Mike, and we've got another clip coming from this episode so far. The entire thing of what's going on under the ocean is clearly a big question mark, but it's something, no, they're not living on the seafloor. They're living under the seafloor. They're going in places where we can't get to. And as they were just talking about, I brought up during their actual broadcast for everyone to talk about, it's a place I dug into a while ago after I found out about the Tic Tacs back in 2004. that if you look at where they were at with the Tic Tacs, you have San Diego where they started with, they were all down in this particular area. And if you follow the directions that the Tic Tacs were going in, it kind of leads us down to near Isle de Cedros, what we have here. But underneath the water, deep down, 1,000 feet down, give or take, you have all these structures where you've got different intersections of these giant, looks like tube-like structures that are at 90 degrees. Or 45-degree angles, things moving along very straight. And these tubes, if you want to call it, are over a mile wide. They're not small structures. Here's another one going off, doing a 90-degree turn. It's a little bit more that way, but up here a little bit, more of the different structures. And this isn't just coming from the radar. Not the sonar anomalies. No, this is actual stuff. And the thing that's really interesting about it is, look how many things that are going on around here, and they have the entire area masked out so you can't see the detail. Mike, do you think that'd be a cover-up? Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that. Yes, I definitely think that would be a cover-up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're hiding something. We know that already.
Yeah. And, I'm actually seeing some more detail in here, Mike, where you can see other ones that are going around it and then coming back on a 45-degree angle. So it looks like we're getting a little bit more. This one here continues up and goes that way. So it looks like this entire thing around this whole mountain here. I mean, not the mountain. Well, probably was a mountain one time because of when the oceans rose. But around the island of Isle de Cedros, there's a lot of stuff going down there. It's not that far from humanity, but far enough to be safe. But it's those things that you just have to, scratch your head and say, "What the fuck is that?" Would you look at that?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, now coming back to another clip of Ross Coulthart from his special, talking with Congressman Tim Burchette about UFOs, alien bases, active bases. So let's go ahead and bring this one up here.
Let's play it.
Bring this one across. It's just a minute in length, but I think we should be fine going and playing this clip. All right, that goes there. This brings it down a little bit. Why is that not fitting? Seems like it's wrong. That's why, because here we go. We'll get that to that point. Ross, here we go. Take it away, my friend. Let's play it.
You've speculated about 5 or 6 bases of non-human entities. Where did you get that number from?
From some Navy officials that had, in fact, had broached that subject to me. I always remember the last thing this one fellow said, because you've been in my office, but you come in one door and you can go out the other if you choose. And nobody ever does. They just go out the entrance they came up. He chose to go out the other door so he could kind of get away from all the other. And the last thing he said was, he looked at me and said, "Tim, they're real." And I'll never forget that. And it led me to believe that he had more information.
And to be very clear about this, Tim, what you're saying is that these objects underwater, these bases underwater, they are non-human. You're clear about that?
That would be my belief, yes, sir. We don't have the capabilities of traveling there or doing anything else.
Clearly, something is operating in our oceans very close.
Yeah, close, and it's just convenient, Mike, because when they go down underneath the ocean, they're never in a place where we're going to know exactly where they're going to head to next.
No clue. That's one of the reasons they can operate safely down there, because we have no way of knowing what's going on down there.
We got a question from the audience. Mike, are you building IKEA furniture in the background?
Actually, I was moving my kitchen refrigerator because the door wouldn't close. So they're close.
Oh, there you go.
But I fixed it, so everything is fine now. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. We're just having fun with this. All right, let's continue on with the videos we've got right now. We've got another one here of a clip coming from Congressman Anapolina Luna, Mike. I think she's talking about some proof here about non-human intelligence. You're the one who sent me this clip.
Yes, she probably is. So, play this clip. We'll discuss it with the audience.
Well, of course.
It'll be interesting. Yeah.
It usually is.
Mm-hmm.
It usually is.
Oh, yeah. Especially with her.
No swimsuits, Mike. Stop your panting.
Yeah.
All right.
Her campaign is over with, but yeah.
Yeah. But she is liking the videos from the trolls again lately.
Oh, I haven't noticed. Is she really?
Yeah, she did.
Oh. Because the last time she did that, I called her out on it, and she reversed her position.
Yeah. No, she's liking Boopas and Tupas, or Boopas and Fupas videos they put out with that slop they create all the time. What do they call it? AI slop? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. They made one recently featuring her.
Yep.
That's what she's commenting about. Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
She's only in there for a second, so it's not really a big deal. But
I know. All right.
she's an attention whore, so what are you going to do?
Mocha!
Luna.
That's another one. Here we go.
Saw some interesting stuff. And so what I'll tell you is that footage, the fact that it was dead dropped to Burleson, I'm certain that there's more of where that comes from, and we are going to push for the declassification of stuff that we've seen, because I think...
Which footage got dead dropped to Burleson, Mike? All the stuff that he showed...
The Hellfire missile video.
The Hellfire missile, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good video.
Yeah, exactly. So there's more.
The American people deserve to see it. But I think, you're never going to have the U.S. government admit or try to explain something if it's also somewhat not specifically pertaining to national defense. So if it's not tech.
But she's missing it. She's thinking she's smart. She's getting around it. Doesn't have to be tech for the military. All it has to be is something that is of non-human origin. And if you talk about it and you can inspire our enemies, that's punishable by death from the DOE.
Yep.
So let's see how far she walks to that line. She's got a little smirk on her face, but let's see how close she gets.
We've made not involving a foreign government. I think that you're going to see a direct statement from that. What's interesting, and I kind of went into this with Joe Rogan, is when we were talking to some of the witnesses, they don't call them extraterrestrial. They call them interdimensional. There's also this... Okay. One of the first persons who I talked about calling them interdimensional, Mike, was actually Colonel John Alexander back in the day. He's always talked about them. Yeah, we can say that they're from here. There's a good chance they could be coming to us from another dimension.
Right.
Oh, my God. There's that video. I got to go find that now. Okay. We'll continue with this one. I've got another one. Aspect of these things defying physics as we know it, and then you look into texts that were removed from the Bible, like the Book of Enoch, that actually specifically address technologies, if you will, that were given to mankind or of entities not of human origin, non-human intelligence. So these are all things to consider when addressing the topic, but based on what I've seen, not speculating, based on the evidence that I've seen, there's something out there. And based on... Well, that's good. We've got something out there. I think we're not moving forward, but it is an acknowledgement again. What I'm saying is it's not... I think that it's along the lines of that video that you just saw.
Have they shown you? Okay, so...
I have to be careful because I could get in trouble if I divulge what I've been shown in a skiff. So... Also, she's just admitted that she's been shown something.
Right.
That she can't divulge or talk about.
Right, but I can almost guarantee you that there's no fucking way in hell that they were discussing the Book of Enoch in a skiff with her. Absolutely not. That is all conspiracy theory bullshit that she's drinking up and taking hook, line, and sinker.
That's
that was
nice.
Never in a skiff.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
gotta say.
I know. It's one of those things you look at and you just, I just had to remember what the hell I was going to find now. But yes, let's continue on. And I've got another video in here somewhere. That's the one I got to play. Almost. What I can tell you is I'm just telling you as me, not specifically addressing skiff stuff, that they're real. And I'm not the only one. You just saw the Secretary of State in a documentary addressing the same thing. Well, That's true.
And then he came out afterwards and he did another interview, and he explained that everything he said in that documentary was second and third hand information. He didn't have any direct knowledge or access of any of it.
No.
So he cleared that position up very quickly.
And more importantly, it's stuff that he claims that he had said 2 to 3 years ago.
Right. So his tune has changed from then to now.
I can name that tune in 3 notes.
Exactly. Good point.
Here we go.
I know it's a mind loop, right? But like Pinellas County, where I specifically represent, there's actually a high number of these reported sightings. But it's not just there. A lot of the members on the task force or that gavel into this, first of all, it's bipartisan and bicameral. Like we've had pretty much everyone's like circulated at one point, right? Through task questions and whatnot. But members in Alaska, the member of Alaska specifically has a lot of reports of this. People that represent these areas. When you get calls to the office, I've seen a lot of kooky stuff too that I know it's like crazy. Like
a lot of sightings in Alaska. When?
Including shoot downs, Thomas.
Yeah, we had Dead Horse, over the oil fields.
Yep.
But that's about it.
Right.
Isn't there supposedly a giant black underground pyramid that's an alien base up somewhere in Alaska?
More conspiracy theories, yeah.
It was remote viewed. Am I correct, Laura? There was a remote viewing on that by Ingo Swann, I think, and he was trying to view that part, and they kicked him out.
Not just Ingo, but other people as well. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
No evidence, however.
Right.
Good insight.
Evidence.
Because the more they try to hide something, I believe they say is the more they try to hide it, the more it shines.
Sometimes that's the case, but not always.
Yeah. I've got a clip of Com Kelleher and Eric Davis back from the days they were in OSAP talking about the dimensional beings, and it's the best description I've heard of something coming through a dimensional portal to date. It blows away what Alexander said in his house back in 2005.
Probably false. That's AI, CGI, whatever. But then you have the stuff that you can't explain. And then you have the attacks on the witnesses that come forward to testify, which if it wasn't real, why would you try to be discredited?
All the attacks on the witnesses, like those people who you go ahead and give them props all the time for, Luna? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Someone, why is the Department of the VA leaking people's records to the press if it's not real, right?
Her voice, when you listen to what comes out of her mouth, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me.
No, but hear what she just said.
Fast.
She just brought up the conspiracy theory from Bupa and Fanda, right? Bupa and Fanda, where they were going to say that Sawan Patel went and doxed David Grush's medical records at the behest of Lou Elizondo, but going through you, Mike. And she, a sitting House representative, is repeating this shit. This takes all the other kind of crap that she's saying right now and just fucking flush it down the toilet, because it just shows you she has, oh God, where is that? Flushes anything she says down the fucking toilet, honestly. And she's smiling about it.
Yeah, it's flushing her credibility on the toilet when she does that.
Yeah. There's a last little bit right there. It's kind of like that turd you think is going to go down, but it comes back and floats to the top because shit always floats to the top. That's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like to me. Well, listen, she doesn't care. So
she does, but
go right ahead.
Yeah.
No one takes her seriously anyway.
Yeah.
The people that I've talked to in Congress, a lot of the people she works with, they all believe that their reference about her is she's not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Yeah.
They all know that. So that's not a secret. They know what they're dealing with, and so do we.
Yeah. When they asked her, I won't say it. I won't say about the old brains and trains thing.
Yeah.
She asked for. She thought they were saying trains when they offered her brains. No, don't like a train ride.
It's like if if you're being told not to look under that rock, you might look under the rock. And so that actually happened to David Grush when he came forward to testify. Is his medical records were leaked to the press.
His medical records were leaked to the press.
No, they weren't.
No. Well, someone told potentially Klippenstein where to go ahead and find this stuff. It wasn't leaked to the press. Glenn Klippenstein did a FOIA request to that police department, and they released
County Sheriff's Department that Grush sued. He didn't sue Swan. He sued the Sheriff's Department for the FOIA.
Yeah.
That's what he did. But those are the actual facts you're talking about, not the false narrative that are being pushed out by the trolls, and she's repeating.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Someone who just joined has their audio. Hold on. I'm going to mute you. There we go. Taken care of. EBT as usual. I'm not surprised.
No. The delay was coming in loud and clear.
Well, he tries to talk through this microphone. His computer fans are so freaking loud and everything. Maybe one day he'll get a headset.
Maybe. It would help.
Oh, I know. All right, let's continue. I can't believe there she is. She said it again.
She's a fucking idiot for doing that.
Well, I didn't say that, folks.
Bite her in the ass.
Clear. Yeah.
It's going to bite her in the ass.
Saw some interesting stuff. And
she
so what I'll tell you.
Making statements about things that are not facts like they are. That's what the trolls do, and that's getting them into trouble, and now she's doing the same thing. That's okay. She's going to find out the hard way, like they are.
Oh, and Captain K, how's that ketamine doing, my friend? That's what Captain K would stand for usually. Find any giant bones from a Nephilim? But I'm sure if they did find giant bones, Mike, they've been locked away in museums in the back rooms because it doesn't comport to the current accepted archaeological beliefs. Lock it away.
You mean, the scientism.
Scientism, historism, all that, archaeologism, whatever you call it. That's why you have the, what's the big museum again in Washington, D.C.? Smithsonian came to all the different places in the United States back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when they were digging up and pillaging all the mounds, and they found all the giant skeletons, and the Smithsonian went and confiscated all that stuff and said they're taking it back to D.C. for safety.
Right. Yep, they buried it like they usually do.
Buried it like they usually do, yep. And if there are any giant skulls or giant bones at any museum that may have them, they're locked away in the back rooms.
In the basements. It'll never see the light of day.
Oh, yeah. All right, so now I've got a surprise video clip here that I saw this one. I've never seen it before. It was on the last episode coming to us from, what do you call it? Weaponized. I did have Adderall today. It doesn't seem like it. All right, here, let's play this one. This one's interesting. They're going to talk about the alien coming through the dimensional portal at Skinwalker Ranch when Alexander was there and he witnessed this thing. So, but the detail they talk into this, Mike, I've never heard this story with this level of detail, even from John back in the day. Here we go.
But let's play it.
Oh, here we go.
Object that was seen 4 feet off the ground. That it looked like a dull yellow light
hovering over the road. It just appeared out of nowhere, and then it begins to expand and grow, and then it opens up into about approximately 3 foot wide opening.
They turned on the night vision equipment they had, and lo and behold, everything from a dull yellow light became like a three-dimensional. It looked like a three-dimensional tunnel that was just, you know, hovering over the ground, where they saw this, what looked like a humanoid creature crawling, literally elbowing his or her way through this tunnel, hovering 4 feet above the ground.
And out of this opening crawls a very large, what I understood to be an 8 foot tall black creature with a head and no neck, and a torso, arms and legs. No details or features noted on it.
There was a second witness standing right beside the other guy with the infrared technology. All he could see...
A head and no neck must be from Austria and talk like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He was a dull yellow light that had expanded to about 4 feet in diameter.
It just literally grabbed the outside edges of this opening, pulled itself through, came out, stepped onto the dirt road, and ran off into the darkness.
Yep.
The creature stood up once it got out onto the ground and walked away.
And then the opening began to shrink and collapse in on itself and turned into a brilliant light that just faded away. That's a perfect description that was given by Matt Visser and John Kramer and Bob Forward and other colleagues of theirs in a physical review paper on the optical nature of wormholes.
I mean, that is not, I would say, military technology. That's some kind of a phenomena that has, it smacks of interdimensional phenomena.
Interesting, Mike. I don't think I've ever seen these guys looking so young.
No, this is a long time ago.
This is back during OSAP. This is actually this. Could it be? Could it be? Well, it could be during OSAP or before OSAP, because remember the stuff that happened at Skinwalker Ranch in the event they're talking about? This happened before there was an OSAP.
Right. That's very interesting, what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah. What happened? Oh, shit, it turned off. There it is. That's why I was not getting this stuff.
I know how it works.
Yeah, they come from the ocean, exactly. That's why I didn't get the message. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. Yeah, interesting conversations coming from people, Eric Davis and Com Kelleher, that we haven't seen this young. Mike, the conversation, it's got great detail. Is believable to me because I heard this before anyone else heard it back in 2005. How about, what say you?
Yeah, no, it is amazing detail. And since then, we've heard exact types of descriptions like the ones that they're saying in this video. So we know what they're talking about. And it's very interesting that this old video clip has that information in it. I find that to be really amazing. That's a hell of a clip. Where did you find this?
X, of all places. Let me see if I can find the original one. This came from Dr. Dan, someone who I'm watching. Let's see, is this the same thing? He did it twice. Accounts are unfolding. Yeah, this is the same one Dr. Dan had put out. Someone who I got it. God, he got my attention last week, and someone who I'm following now. Real interesting information this guy's covering.
It's a good clip. It is.
Oh gosh, yes. I'm seeing if he has any more of these clips on here. No, it's just the same clip of Kelleher and God. He even has. Oh God, he's got a video 20 years ago looking of Mr. Chris Bledsoe going through a polygraph. I'm not sure where this is from. It looks like it could be from a show on history, so I'm not going to play it and get a strike. You know how they go.
Right. It's not worth it.
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. On that note, let's go ahead and go to our next piece here. I think I've got some pictures coming up here I want to get over. Yes, we're talking about USOs. If you're talking about things underneath the bottom of the ocean, Mike, one of the things you cannot overlook is the Baltic Sea anomaly. That's something that looks like the Millennium Falcon on the bottom of the Black Sea?
Yes.
Yes. That actually has a drag mark where it looks like it was actually impacted and then it slid across the actual ocean, the ground at this point, dragging lines within it, coming to a rest on the ground. You know, they've been looking at this kind of stuff going back since, 2011. And they're still digging into it. Who's the name of the guy again that's been working with Beatrice, who's got the Ocean X platform?
Dennis Asborough.
Thank you. Yes. Asperg or Asborough? Asperg. It is Asperg. Yeah. You know, they've got pictures of it. I think they're actually, isn't he talking about wanting to drill through this thing next?
That's what they're planning on doing with the next expedition and when they go out there.
Yeah.
They have issues when they go out to this object with the surface level weather.
Mm-hmm.
It impacts them, how far down they can go and how long they can stay there.
Yeah.
That's been a lot of the issues they've been having. But they're definitely going back, and they're definitely going to be moving forward with this research. It may have a breakthrough at one point, which is going to be very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a trilobite chromosome cowboy. But Mike, can you, God, Kyle, what are your thoughts on this? I know you've done some research on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I need to step away to hit the library for a second.
Not much. It almost looks like it's made out of stone.
Run it, Mike. It's made out of what? Go ahead, Mike.
Stone.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I'll tell you what I know. Because I've talked to them, and I know the work they're doing very well. They've used ground-penetrating radar, and they have determined that this object is not attached to the seafloor. It's not a stone. It's not part of the geographical formations on the bottom of the ocean there. It's something separate from that altogether. That makes it more fascinating, in my opinion. What do you think?
It's interesting. It's interesting, considering the drag marks and as heavy as it must be. You have to consider the fact that there might not have been water when it crashed.
Or even if there was water when it crashed, the drag marks are, it looks like, could be where it was traveling when it came down to the ground, where it finally is resting. That's also a possibility. And that's why they're going to try to drill into it to see what's in there. So this, when they have the ability, and they're going to be going back pretty soon, I'm really going to be curious about what they find at that point. It could be like our friend Lou Elizondo likes to say, they're there at that point. And we're all waiting to see what they discover. But that's an interesting object.
Yeah, and potentially
it's gone.
and potentially it does look like it could be stone, but by the look of it, however, it doesn't explain the drag marks. Like it impacted and went across the sea floor for over 300 meters in length.
Right, but like I said, they used ground-penetrating radar on it, and they determined that it is not attached or part of the seafloor. It's separate.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of a stone would be moving and resting there like that? It wouldn't be. That's why it's an anomaly.
Right. Totally anomalous. That's a fact.
Yeah,
and
I
also,
agree.
I believe whenever they go down there, there is also representatives from the Norway military who are out there getting in their way sometimes.
Yeah, because they want to know what they find on these expeditions, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been promising because they have been able to pick up on these details, like it's not a rock growth coming from the sea floor itself. So whatever this anomaly is, it's unusual, to say the least, at this point.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get more information, and that'll give us a better idea of what exactly we're looking at with this object.
It's one of those things, it's out there. Maybe eventually we'll go ahead and figure this thing out. But in the meantime, you just have to throw it out there as one of these. It's one of these things you just have to go ahead and take a look at and just say, okay, when the information comes back, we've got it. In the meantime, leave it out there. Hopefully they can go down there, break some chunks off it, do whatever they can do. Don't blow it up. Drill into it, I guess. But if it's hollow or something, right?
Oh, that's going to be an implosion if it's hollow.
Right. It seems a bit overly destructive, but we're talking about humans here, aren't we?
We are. Now, what would be interesting is if they tried to drill into it. And like James Lukatsky talked about, with the craft that they were trying to get into, they tried to drill into that too. Had no effect. So if they have a similar situation with this when they try to drill into it and they can't, that tells you right there, even if they don't get inside of it, it's definitely not a rock at that point.
And who knows if there was something that crashed and came down, humans could have gone and put things on top of it. We don't know what really is going on. Just like you have all those giant sarcophagus that are buried under, was in Saqqara in Egypt, right? Where those huge giant things, multi-tons, precision created in a method that we could never even create today. There's just a lot of unknown stuff out there.
There is. The technology that survived and how they were able to manufacture and create these objects, it still goes beyond what we're able to do today. It's amazing.
Right. While different, but it almost kind of takes you back to some of the giant carvings we have off of the coast of Japan. God, that just... Yeah. That's just hard to tell what the hell this thing is. It's not like we've got a good relief view of it. A lot of we've got the top-down view of what it potentially looks like. We've got a lot of artist recreation of it. What they need to do is just get some really good LiDAR, whatever they can use underwater to try and figure out what this thing has. Daryl, go ahead.
I hate to throw cold water in this party, but this thing was found in 2011. If there was anything there, don't you think some government would have gotten there and gotten that thing by now?
Well, a lot of times when they've been going in the past to go ahead and dig this thing up, Daryl, it was literally the military would come out and be blocking them for when they had the few, if you want to call it a short window to get out there and get to it. In the part of the Black Sea where they're at, there's really fast-moving currents. It's bad weather on a regular basis. So for them to be able to find a clear window, and even when they're going down to it, you can see the visibility is very limited as far as what they're looking at. You look at that, and yeah, that does potentially look like stone.
So if they go back there on the next expedition and it's gone, would anybody be surprised?
That's a good point, Daryl. That would be proof in itself, I think.
Yeah. It's just one of those things you look at and you just keep on going back to it and figure out where they're at. Hopefully Dennis Asperg can get something to get some momentum to move this thing forward, because clearly you need it. We need something.
He's been at it for the past 14 years, so yeah, he's not giving up.
Oh, hell no. And there's a lot of different representations of artists, what they think they're actually looking at, and it's just hard to go ahead and trying to find the stuff of potentially of what they're dealing with. But it's something that's an ancient site, probably well older than 12,000 years. It could be 30 to 60,000 years old. Time will tell. Now, yeah. I've got a little clip here of... I can't put it there. Give me a second here. Let me just...
conclude...
Okay, come on, Gary. We'll get you in 1 second. You conclude, I know. Gotta love Gary Nolan. He's trying. Unfortunately, he's been pointed out lately as one of the folks who's actually... trying to get, what are they claiming now, Mike, that they've got the tech bros that are trying to get the technology out of the hands of like Lockheed and the government and get it across to the VCs and investors so they can try and monetize it and create something out of it, because the government's been failing on it?
Yeah, they do want to monetize it. They think that it's going to be the next breakthroughs for the public for them to sell advanced aspects of this type of technology.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons that Grush had that private meeting at Wall Street after he testified, because they're looking for financial investment into this project.
Yeah, they are.
I know.
Let's play this little clip here of Gary, and then we can talk some more. Here we go, Mike.
I conclude that there's definitely something here. But I think the more interesting conclusion is if something is here, it's likely been here longer than humans have even been civilized. So it really opens the question, and actually it's something that I think Charles Fort actually said, is, Earth is probably somebody else's property.
Well, bingo. We're just the renters here. We're just the farm animals. Enoch, you got a nice clicky keyboard, Enoch.
Didn't Lou say that with the Samba speech? What if we're not the apex predator on this earth?
No, but not even just, yeah, he said during the somber speech, but then he just said it recently during the Age of Disclosure of, yeah, there's another apex predator on this planet, and it's not humanity. And that we're not the top of the food chain. Which means big fish eats little fish, right? Eats plankton.
And we're not the big fish, right.
We're not the big fish, which means we're on the menu.
Potentially.
Yeah. You got to wonder about all those foods and everything that's coming in our food supply and fattening up the planet. Are they getting us ready for to send to market, Mike?
Oh, that's like the old Twilight episode.
To serve man, right?
Man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's one of those things. Oh, yeah. Continue on. That's a fact. Let's see if there's anything else good here. Oh.
Is it a UFO?
Oh, I can't play this. I just got to bring it up. This is a video coming again, something probably from History Channel. And they're talking about disclosure.
UFOs.
And if sources and methods explains 2 decades of classified UFO secrecy, this video will seem familiar. Let's go ahead and see if we can recognize people.
Yeah, let's do it.
There we go. Who's that? Richard Dolan.
Oh my God, he's so young. I didn't even recognize him.
He's got hair. Yeah. This next one you should recognize pretty well. No, not sure who that is.
No, I don't know who that is.
Not sure who that one is. There's a bunch of them here, but I know I saw one. Oh, there we go. About 100 pounds lighter than he is today.
Yeah, that's John Greenwald.
In the Black Vault, yeah.
Yeah.
Humans taste like pork due to our high salt content. No, pork is created. No, but, Mike, this came to me during meditation today, and it could be right. What if, when the non-human intelligence was creating man and the other species, when they were creating us, they accidentally created pigs? So it's one of our close relatives. That's why we're not supposed to eat it. Huh?
Well, that... And pigs are actually very smart. People use them as house pets. They're that intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
Like a 5-year-old child.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the other reasons why you really shouldn't be eating an animal that's that intelligent.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
That's why they have dolphin-free tuna, Mike.
I know.
That's not really dolphin free, but yeah. Yeah, we got Stanton Friedman here.
Oh, look at that.
He's alive. Oh,
yeah.
There he is there. Not sure who that is. Robert Switek. We haven't seen where he went to. There's another shot of Richard Dolan. Oh, there you go. Isn't that the current John Kozlowski, the good Polak who's in charge of Arrow?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there she is.
Oh, my God. Oh, fuck no.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I've got to go ahead and create that pop-up so we can bring up Susan Goff at any time, Mike.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that effort, Thomas.
Oh, that's okay. But hey, it's the UAP doctor. UAP doctor. Good guy to follow on X. I ran into him on X, and after he followed me, it's like, okay, who's this guy? It's like, oh. He's got his pulse at the right point. Our back is quiet today. Except no interaction, no nothing, not interesting. But you know what? As soon as we stop the show, we can't get him to quiet down. Susan's here. Susan, how you doing, my dear lady?
Hilariously well. And how's yourself, Thomas?
Oh, doing well. You're paying attention too. That's wonderful. Anything? Are you painting anything good these days?
I haven't painted for ages. I've been dealing with some stuff at home. So,
oh, that kind of stuff. I understand.
I had a fire, so Yeah, it was great
Oh,
fun.
you had a fire? Okay, I thought you were chasing someone. And I'd recommend using a wooden spoon. I heard they work really well.
Sometimes
No, cricket bat works really good too.
Who else do we have in the back that I can call him? Ed, the recliner in chief. We haven't heard from you, my friend. We've seen you a bunch. How you holding up?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. You got to pay a lot of attention to learn stuff. So I'm just sitting here listening all this time.
Oh, yeah. Got to have fun with it, right?
Yeah, everything's been fine, Tom's. Just sitting back, taking it in.
Oh, there you go, my friend. Absolutely. Let's see what else I can go ahead and find here on our stuff. I guess Gene Sticko, Mike, was over on Reality Check with Ross. You think we should play a little clip of that?
Oh, absolutely. Please, let's do it.
Gene has been making the rounds lately. You got to give him some props.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. You got to thank him again for helping get the Whistling Mike on. Can't wait for Whistling Mike to come back again.
Oh, he will be doing that shortly. We're waiting for the next return. It'll be good.
Presents.
All right, let's go ahead. Oh, Brian.
Yeah, let's play that video.
All right, we got that. Let's go ahead and bring this one. We'll pause it here and there because it is from Reality Check. It is 4 minutes long, so we got to be careful.
Yep.
Play it. All right, here we go, folks.
Put up fair use.
All right, do me a favor, folks. If you're having a good time, you're enjoying this show as we're putting it together on the fly, trying to keep everybody entertained and talk about disclosure, do us a favor. About half of you who are watching this broadcast, whether you're live or not, are not subscribed to the show. If you're having a good time, do us a favor, folks. You're watching Disclosure tonight. Help us grow this channel. We'd love to help you, help us get to that point. Please subscribe to the show. And if you haven't given us a thumbs up, we'd love to have that as well. Why am I asking? Because it helps YouTube share this with more people, and we love everyone's support for what we try to do here on Disclosure tonight. So let's get to this clip of Gene and Ross. And let's play it. Here we go, folks. And I will put the fair use across the top. There we go.
Scroll through that manuscript that he sent your son. Mm-hmm. You see images of a schematic that he or somebody has drawn of what looks like a classic hat-shaped disc flying saucer. The big question, of course, Gene, is this something that he's just doodling in his sketchbook?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I've got that in the wrong spot. The audience can hear it. You guys can. So I'm on the wrong browser. So let me get to this again right now and get this across to Brave. I'm sorry, people in the back. I have to replay this for our friends in the back so they can comment on this. And we'll restart it. Get back to here again. Right there. All right. Let me play it again. So
he sent your son. Mm-hmm. You see images of a schematic that he or somebody has drawn of what looks like a classic hat-shaped disc flying saucer. The big question, of course, Gene, is this something that he's just doodling in his sketchbook? Or is this something that when you read the documents, and you've now had them translated, that you can reach a conclusion that they were based on something more substantial?
Absolutely. So that became the mission, to understand what exactly these things were. And was it a tabletop hobby? Was it a piece of theoretical work? Or was it exactly what it appeared to be, this engineering of a craft?
Exactly.
And I broke that down and chased that down in several ways. Again, I was retired now. You have to understand when this dropped in our laps. And so, I just had to dust off the old skill set and start breaking it down as methodically as I could. And over the course of doing that for the last 4 years and all the inputs that we got in research and all the rest of it, the language consistently represents that it is based on observation. He does not use any language that it might be anything that would appear to be theoretical. The method and the process that he walks through very much consistently reads as observation, measurement, and explanation. So he's obviously preparing this document, this package, these works for somebody else, for another.
It might, just to clarify for the audience, this is from the book Engineering Infinity that Gene brought out, and when he had a huge packet of drawings that he got from his father after he had passed away, and they thought it was family records or something. It turned out to be a deep dive into reverse engineering a UFO, almost like the same stuff we had from Roswell.
Right. This is going back with his father-in-law to the Soviet Union days 40 years ago.
Right.
So, yeah, Gene made all that information public. He wrote the book, and he allows people that want to research it to get free access on the website, engineeringinfinitybook.com, to be able to look at it and see if there's anything that they could tie into it, or at least get access to what breakthroughs they were working on over in old Mother Russia.
But it's interesting, though, how a lot of the stuff that's in here actually ties back to even stuff Salvatore Pais was proposing in the UFO patents that he put out around 2020.
It does. That means to tell you that the Soviet Union, with their UAP research, was pretty dead on with the research that we've been doing over here on our side of things.
Yeah.
It goes
Absolutely.
hand in hand.
So let's continue on a little bit more with this. Here we go.
Audience.
One of the images that you've got, I love it because it's the classic hat-shaped disc UFO. And for the benefit of our editors, it's image 6745. And it seems to have dimensions. What does it show of the size of the object?
So the object's about 30 meters in diameter. It's constructed in two solid pieces, and those pieces operate somewhat independent even of one another. He goes on, he describes a cabin.
Mike, I found a visual representation. They're actually going ahead and calling this a hat-shaped UFO, right?
Right.
Well, believe it or not, we've got a picture of here Melania Trump wearing that UFO on her head when she visited England recently. The Hamburglar hat.
Yeah, that's the one.
Pretty close.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
For the pilots, as long with the intricacies of the system, how it, what's inside, how it operates, how it works. But 30 meters overall. And the weight, I don't remember offhand the exact weight of it, but I found
30 meters across. That's in there. They've said the other ones we saw were about 40 meters across. And they said one of the sections was actually pulled out, and that's how they got into it.
That's the Katsky and the craft.
Yeah, but it's right there.
Yeah. It's spooky.
Yeah.
The connections.
Oh, yeah.
Found that fascinating because it was like the equivalent of 16 fully loaded 747s.
Wow.
So
really?
It was very, very heavy.
And does he talk about the metals that are used to construct the object?
He does. He completely breaks them down. They're silicone-based, metal composite.
Not silicone, silicon.
Right.
Gene, but that does not surprise me that Gene got those two things confused. Brian, your hand is up, my friend.
Yeah, I just want to say, for those of you that have not read this or attempted to read, I'm only about 60% of the way through Gene's book. And He just does a great job. This is, without a doubt, definitely the real deal. This is not some gentleman's amusings. This is somebody that, like Gene says, was intimately involved in this project. And I'm not trying to hawk Gene's book here, but he does a great job where you've got the Russian on the left, and then he translates it all on the right of each page. I would highly recommend it.
I have a stinking suspicion that American Alchemy with Jesse is going to be next.
That may be the case. Yeah,
We haven't heard about it. No one's heard about it, but just, a little bird just whispered in my ear and told me, and I think that's where it's going to go next. It deserves to. It needs to.
I 100% agree, and I think what you're seeing too in Gene's book that comes from his father-in-law is you're seeing a lot of these same representations in our reverse engineering and our fusion as well. In fact, the first chapter in Gene's book is about heavy water. That's the deuterium and tritium. So I think you're going to see a lot of this stuff where we're kind of dancing around the edges start to come together in the private sector here shortly.
We hope so, my friend. Absolutely. We just want the truth to come out. We don't care where it lands, right? We just want the fucking truth. They're going to say it's not real. If it's not real, that's where it is. That's fine. If it is real and here's the evidence, great. And I think that's something that the people who will believe, the people who want to find the facts, and the people who say you're all fucking crazy can all come together and agree that let's just bring out the facts on this and bring it out. But, I got to bring up the question, Mike. Even if you bring out the truth and everything, it's going to be like the Republicans versus the Democrats. Republicans are saying something. They're bringing out the facts of what's going on, but everyone who's the other 50% is going to say, fuck you, we don't care, you're lying to us. Right? So even if they bring out the truth, half the people who are like have their heads so far up Greer's fucking ass they can see daylight, and there's a bunch of them out there on X. You know who I'm talking about, and YouTube. Those are the ones who are going to deny everything because it's not coming from Daddy Greer. I wonder if Panda calls him Daddy.
Oh, nice.
You never know. I have to say, his current picture that he has for his profile on X reminds me of a Grinder.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a Grinder profile picture. Just saying. Yes, I'm gay, and I used to be on Grindr when it first came out, and there were bugs. And yes, one time where it had my picture with my significant other at that time across the United States, Mike. So I'm famous. There was a bug. There we go.
He discusses how those metals then interact with the gravitational and magnetic fields that it creates around them. He discusses how it creates those fields, but the overlying they are silicone based alloys.
But what we've actually found out when we've looked at the metal materials, Mike, they're not silicon-based alloys. We have alloys that are made of, what was it again? Isotopes. So we have odd isotope arrangements that you would never find in any elements like aluminum or different things on this planet because we can't create it. It's from a crazy combination of isotopes that give us the same element at a astronomical level of purity, right?
Yeah, because Gary Nolan was examining that metamaterial, and it came up with the aluminum and the bismuth is so pure that it must have been not made by us, and it's not the raw.
But it wasn't just the bismuth; it was the atomic makeup of the actual atom. Okay, so we're dealing with a sample of a crash craft that HAL put off, and their scientists went and tried to figure out. They got it down to an atomic layer where they were actually, when they looked at this stuff, it was laid down one atom thick of materials, right? With another layer and another layer and another layer. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars in many years to try and put it together. But when they tried to reproduce it, Mike, they couldn't reproduce it because the atomic sheets of what they're trying to lay down, one on top of the other, would delaminate and it would fall apart, basically taking them and saying that, hey, you know what? This stuff was made in anti-gravity. This wasn't made on this earth. Or for what? Right?
Right, because it looked to them like it was assembled on the molecular level. That's not something we can do.
No, not molecular, atomic level.
Yeah.
We're literally one layer of atoms on top of another, and those atoms that were put together were made in a way that we've never seen material like this on this planet before.
No, not at all. And we couldn't recreate that if we tried. We don't have the material science to do that.
Hell put off, and the science guys, they did recreate those things based on the isotopes to go ahead and lay down, IBM... I want to see if I can find this. IBM, with their different technologies that they've had, they've gone and literally created like a little bicycle, a little house, a little car, right? All out of atoms, and it's so freaking small because they aligned all the different atoms to go ahead and create this stuff on an atomic layer. And it was the smallest objects. I was just trying to find what they created so small to bring up as a picture. I couldn't find it, but it's just something that they go ahead and do. So I think that's the end. Let me see if not there. I think that is the end of the clip. Yeah, that is the end of the clip with Gene. Interesting with Gene. It's great to have him around here on a regular basis, honestly.
Well, Gene is a good friend of ours and a good friend of the show. It's great when he's around. He helps out immensely.
Oh, yeah.
I sent you a DM.
Oh, yeah, that one DM you sent me earlier that we haven't played yet, right?
No, a new one I just sent you.
I know. Well, we actually did play the other one.
Mark Sokol. And Gene stopped by there, and there's pictures of Gene with
there you go. Nicely. We played the other one. Oh, we didn't play that one. Oh, that's right. Gene went down to hang up at Falcon Space today, didn't he?
On his way back from D.C., he stopped in Jersey by Falcon Space.
So what do we know what he went down to D.C. for in the first place?
I don't recall it.
No, we never heard that one. But his wife then, who had a concert, flew down from Pennsylvania to go see him in D.C. They met up there and they drove back.
Yeah, they did.
And here they are at Falcon Space. Who's he with there? Is that Mark Sokol?
Mark Sokol, yeah, a friend of ours from our private meetings.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, and he's got the book, Engineering Infinity. There you go. Yeah. Margaritas, strawberry margarita, traditional margarita, but it's blended, not on the rocks.
No.
Still good. Oh, and they got the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful. Dogs are necessary in science. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Moose does that to me every day that I bring it home. So there we go. Interesting to see Gene hanging out at Falcon Space, Mike. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure. It's something the audience should see Gene in his travels. He gets around.
Oh, yeah. Considering how everything has been going so great right now with Disclosure. Oh, by the way, we've had 4 in the last 24 hours. We've had multiple M-class, if you want to call it, explosions on the sun, CMEs, heading towards this planet. And we've had one of an X-1.4, and they're all heading our way. Which means potentially we could have some really great aurora borealis, not here in Washington State because it is raining every fucking single day. And more importantly, it's not just raining every day. We have what they're considering as being, and this is Washington State here, showing where all the rain is. I'm over here. Oh, look, I'm going to get Mike about 4 inches at least of rain in the next couple days. We have the equipment. They've sent off, NOAA sent off planes today. Yes, they're still funded. They sent off planes over to out into the ocean off the West Coast. But, they're basically dealing with what do you call it? A Category 5 hurricane force of weather that is coming in and heading our way. Can't wait to see where that's going to go. By Thursday, it should be here. It's going to be crazy. We're going to be getting many inches of rain. I think I've got some other stuff. All right, so UAP Reporting Center. Let's do this one. I'm in Chrome again. Son of a bitch. God damn it. Mike, why am I in Chrome again?
I don't know.
Susan Goff has something to do with it.
Lately. Yo, you think it had to do with Susan?
All right. Let's play this next one. I'll play right from here. Jeremy Corbell. He's aware of active investigations into murders or suspicious deaths tied to people who worked in the U.S. secret U.S. government UFO programs. Why doesn't he bring up James Forrestal? He's the first person who got killed about this, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what the history books show.
Yeah, he's the guy who accidentally fell out his high rise
window. 12 stories up, yeah.
12 stories up, and he exited the window backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely killed himself. Yeah.
Sure. It was a suicide.
Oh, exactly. Here we go.
And the subject itself are treated above weapons of mass destruction. In fact, weapons of mass destruction departments will often engage the UAP. They'll have a portfolio of UAP-related investigation because they know these power sources are dangerous if in the wrong hands.
Right.
I know that people in government and people outside of government have had profound contact with what they believe are non-human intelligence. I know that this has been guarded as a secret to the point where there are suspicious deaths of people that worked on the programs who were supposed to testify. I know that is a fact.
Yeah.
And I know there's ongoing...
Who the hell is that, Mike? We need to get Jeremy.
I know that as a fact. That's a fact. I've heard that before.
And I know there's ongoing investigations into that.
Thank you, Brian.
And the subject itself are treated above weapons of mass destruction. In fact, weapons of mass destruction departments will often engage the UAP. They'll have a portfolio of UAP-related investigation because they know these power sources are dangerous if in the wrong hands.
Right.
Okay, it's dangerous if they're in the wrong hands. Yes, thank you very much, Brian Pemble, for that super chat. We need one House member to introduce a discharge petition to strengthen whistleblower protections. The votes are there, Brian. Could it be introduced potentially by Tim Burchette, the guy who's introducing it, or Anna Polina Luna, or Representative Eric Burleson?
Absolutely. I think any one of those are great candidates. We've already seen that Anna Polina Luna has brought a discharge petition to the House floor. And just for those people watching, usually bills will get introduced via the House side through the Speaker. But this is, every time those bills go to committee, they get watered down. And that's always been the problem we're whining about. And there's currently a House resolution out there to ban insider stock trading. That's being brought out of committee in its original form where the committee can't get their grubby mitts on it and everybody's forced to vote on it.
So everyone in the United States, except the members of Congress, are banned from insider trading, right?
Right.
And Congress is unwilling to give up that ability because it can take them from $125,000 a year salary to $125 million a year salary, give or take.
That's right. That's why when you're making 176 a year and all of a sudden you're worth 30, 50, 60 million, it's pretty incredible. And the return rate's incredible. So you can take the same logic via the discharge petition, which is rarely used, but it was used in this case, and we can use it to at least put some more teeth in the whistleblower protections. Right?
Yeah.
The votes are there, people. That's all I got to say. If not larger legislation, they keep trying to attach it to the NDAA, and that's just not going to work.
No, it's not. And did you see that discharge position that Luna has put up there? Hakeem Jeffries is blocking it, and she's pissed. She's getting fucked, and not in the way that she likes.
Who is?
Hakeem Jeffries.
Well, he's the minority leader of the House of Representatives, but if there's enough votes from the Republicans, they can pass whatever the fuck they want. Doesn't matter what Hakeem wants.
Yeah, all they need is 218. So once you put that discharge petition into what they call the hopper on the House desk, all you need is 218 votes to bring it out of committee in its original form. But yeah, they're going to try and block it. But I don't think that this is a political issue. I think, even if you have something that was just, let's, make strong the whistleblower protections, I think both sides would go for it.
Yeah, but Tim Burchette tried that. He had one page that he wanted to submit as a standalone, and they wouldn't pass it. That was 2 years ago. They wouldn't fucking even entertain the idea.
Yep.
No. Every single time it's brought up, and there's other people in the UAP caucus that could back it up, but they haven't been doing it, have they, Mike?
No, they have not, Thomas. You know what that tells us? And it's something that you and I have talked about on the show years ago.
They're bought and paid for. They're crooked as fuck.
Not only that, but like Luna was saying, that Congress is bipartisan and bicameral on this, meaning both the House and the Senate. But what she failed to mention is the fact that the anti-disclosure movement in the Congress is also bicameral and bipartisan. That's what stands in the way of this. The other side of the coin that nobody talks about. But they're there. You and I know who they are. We know that they're in the way of moving any of this legislation forward. And they always have been and always will be. That's why it's not such a simple thing to do.
Yeah. And Mike, if I could jump on that just real quick,
Go ahead.
I completely agree, but at least this will put them on record. It would bring a bill or law out in a clean form without the committee getting their hands on it. And then let's let them vote on it. And let's see who is who at that point in time. And I think that would be at least an important exercise, if not something that may be successful, but at least we'd know, okay, you're bought and paid for, you're bought and paid for, you're not. It needs to be put in there by, a Mike Massey, a Burchette, or somebody like that.
Yeah. Mike Turner, the former Mike Turner. People like that would stand out. Right. No, you're right. Listen, I'm with you 100%, Brian. We'll see if they attempt to do something like that. So far, they haven't. So I don't see it as a likelihood, but I agree with you. They should do it.
Hopefully, a Burleson's the man to do it, in my opinion.
We'll see. Time will tell, I guess. I hope you're right. I would like to see them do that. But so far, it hasn't happened. It just hasn't. There's a lot of things that they could do in the Congress to take back some of the power that they have almost voluntarily given up to the executive branch. But in 50 years, they haven't moved forward on attempting to get control back to the legislative branch. I wonder why that is. They could do the things you mentioned. They could do other things as well. But they haven't moved forward on any of it. That's been the problem the whole time, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better anytime soon.
Yeah, it's because they get too many donations. They get paid too much.
Let's clarify. They get donations from the special interest and lobbyists, and they no longer represent the people who elected them into office. They are now representing the people who are giving them the money so they can run for re-election, right?
That, in my opinion, that is exactly right, Thomas.
And honestly, 100%. The easiest thing they can do, Brian, is make any lobbying in Washington, D.C. illegal. If you want to go ahead and lobby someone, you have to lobby them when they're back in their district, not in Washington, because Washington has turned into this big swamp of everyone coming together and getting payola and suitcases of cash to go ahead and represent all these corporations. Get rid of that shit, make it illegal, and if they in the District of Columbia, and if they want to get it, they have to go back to where they're from in that short amount of time that they're there. which basically gets rid of all the lobbyists that are in D.C. and now you have lobbyists that have to be everywhere in the country. It's a crime. My dad used to say, you know what? I can go talk to a politician, and if I go ahead and offer him a cup of coffee to talk about something, that's a fucking bribe. And that's exactly what it is.
I think that's genius, Thomas, because one thing that does right there is it decentralizes the power.
Yeah.
It decentralizes the money. And then you have to be more responsive to your constituents. You're 100% right. All I'm trying to offer is a way to put them on record via the discharge petition, and I think that's if we're looking legislatively, which I know we all agree that it's got to come from the executive. But anyways, if we're looking legislatively, that's the only way it's going to get done.
Yeah.
But speaking of the executive branch, Brian, isn't it true that if the current administration wanted to institute stronger whistleblower protections, they could write an executive order and get it done with the swipe of a pen?
I do believe they could do that, yes. There's going to have to be a funding mechanism. That's part of the problem. I think you could probably use existing whistleblower protections for the funding mechanism. But if you're going to generate any new funding, all new funding needs to originate in the House. That will be the only roadblock that I see. But I think you could use existing mechanisms, Mike. So I think that's possible.
Right. So there are different ways and opportunities to move forward, either through the executive branch or through the Congress, the legislative branch. But so far, except for Tim Burchette, nobody has put up a standalone bill on whistleblower protections.
Nobody has. And he's had it up here now for 2 sessions of Congress. He had that up in the last session of Congress last year. He's had it up this year, and no one is willing to go ahead and sponsor it now. We did hear some, if you want to call it, words from Luna and who was it? Burleson saying they were going to go ahead and support it, but where's the beef? Where's the actual facts? They're talking about supporting it, but their actions are weak.
Well, they say one thing, but they actually do another. So we see the truth about where their support really lies.
And you're surprised?
No, not one bit.
Politics.
You and I have been covering this for years now. Why would I be surprised?
Yeah. They're crooked. Any politician is crooked, honestly. Any and all of them.
It's true.
In one way or the other.
Right. The only exception to that rule, I can tell you, in my opinion, would be Representative Tim Burchette. He doesn't take money from the party. He has his constituents that have a grassroots movement to get him elected every time there's an election. He doesn't require money from these military industrial contractors. He doesn't need anything from the party itself that he represents. They already were talking about trying to primary him out of his current position.
But you know what? They completely failed at that option to go ahead and take Tim Burchette out of office.
They did.
And he was worried about it, but it never manifested, did it?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
So he's about the one politician that I would tell you I don't think is corrupt. I don't think is taking money under the table.
Ooh, Tim Burchette? No.
No. Not at all. But out of all the members of Congress, he's the only one I could think of. So that's one against the entire congressional body. Not a good sign for the things we want accomplished.
Yeah.
It isn't. And we already know that they don't want the powers that be for Tim Burchette to be in control. They didn't make him the head of the task force. They put the person that in behind closed doors in the halls of Congress, they call not the sharpest knife in the drawer. They put her on top.
Well, of course, it's on. Well, you just said exactly why they have it, and it's a shame that they overlooked Tim Burchette. He was supposed to be a slam dunk for the, if you want to call it, the Secrets Task Force, but they overlooked him for Luna.
Right.
And if you see everything that's been going on with the Secrets Task Force, he is completely just taken a step back. And by the way, Craig Williams, whenever you see Pramila Jayapal say Rumpelstiltskin 3 times and she'll vanish. Watch.
And Thomas and Mike, if I could add to that too, if we remember the task force, the subpoena power was given to Comer, and Comer is one of Mike Johnson's right-hand man. So they retained all the power in the speakership via James Comer. So you knew that it was a BS from the beginning. That's the part that disappoints me. But
yeah. Uh-oh.
And that's why, and that's why for 2 years I've been singing from the rooftops, and we have too on this show that, hey, you can introduce it as a clean bill via discharge petition, get it out of committee, and put them all on record and make them vote.
Right. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
But if you remember, the UAP caucus was trying to get access to the information from the government and the DOD on some of these secret SAP programs. And Susan Goff, believe it or not, actually came out and made a public statement and said, we have no problem with granting them all of the access that they would need to look to see what they're looking for. But she was told from the powers that be within Congress, like Comer and Johnson, that they feel the members of the UAP caucus do not have a need to know, and they shouldn't be granted that access. So they got shot down from within Congress itself, not the DOD, because at one point the DOD was more than willing to say, hey, take a look at whatever you want. We really don't care. And Congress said, no, they shouldn't be looking at that.
Yep.
So this is the games that go on in Washington, D.C. It's disgusting. And why we don't get any information moving forward on the truth when we should. They're not going to do the things that they have the ability to do in Congress and make it happen for us to get the truth. It's the same game playing that goes on and on
and on and on and on, and it never changes, does it, Mike?
No, sir, it does not. And what do we have to show for it? We have the head of the current task force right now, Representative Luna, and she's following the trolls on social media and repeating the false narrative that they're putting out there. And that's a very bad sign. It really is. This is what's going on. This is what Congress is doing. Nothing. They're doing nothing constructive.
Have they ever done anything? Have they ever done anything constructive?
Well, I think that the meeting, the UAP hearing on July 26, 2023, when they had David Grush come forward after he did the interview with Ross Coulthard and testify under oath, I think that was constructive. I think we heard things come out of his mouth that no other government employee before that would ever say publicly, especially under oath. So that's what sticks out to me as far as they could have done something with this, and they didn't. That's the disappointing part. This is going on 2.5 years ago, going to be 3 soon. And they have done nothing from then to now. Not a damn thing.
Oh. Almost sounds like, Mike, what's going on with college students in NPR. Remember that defunded part of the government that everyone said was so necessary?
Yes, I do.
Yes, according to a recent survey, the percentage of college students who listen to NPR is now 2%, Mike, down to 40% 2 decades ago. The sudden cascade towards the relentless race and gender propaganda that the network underwent in the mid-2010s was justified by referencing the need for generational change. Generation Z is more than half non-white and nearly 30% LGBTQ identified, but get ready, folks, the LGBT is ready to divorce the TQ++. But it seems woke identitarianism appeals to the least. So yes, Mike, I think we've got less. Right now, only 2% of students reported listening to NPR at all. And of those, just 17% listen to NPR on a regular basis regularly. That's right. Fewer than half of 1% of students at one of America's most intellectually engaged universities still consider NPR a relevant part of their cultural experience. It sounds like it was a great idea to go ahead and shut that thing down.
Yeah, it really does. And we're seeing the impact now of that. Yeah, it's about time.
Oh, yeah.
It's long overdue. Yeah.
I saw that one today. So we're dealing with half of 1%. Daryl, go ahead.
Yeah, so programming, like their best programming is
Wait, don't tell me.
And you're going to tell me that college students are sitting around listening to that?
They're not.
Programming is simply not for those people.
It's like for old people. I mean, wait, don't tell me, right?
Exactly.
That's one of the shows I remember, like going years back, that they had there, and that was kind of their top thing on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's like no, college students are not listening to NPR.
Yeah. But 40% of college students listened to him 20 years ago. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things that's gone out of style, unfortunately, Mike. And
well,
Daryl.
Yeah, it is. So hopefully 2026 will be better than 2025 has been so far.
Yeah. Well, we do have a clip here from the Good Trouble Show, and we do have permission to play their clips lately, it seems. Should we play it?
Please do.
So we've got one here of Matt Ford. Believe it or not, we're covering it now. Former, I guess his views that he's got has got high enough to where people can cover his stuff to try and bring him views now, which is good for him because it'll cause his channel to grow. All right, let's bring this up and show it. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. Former Director of National Intelligence. We're not talking about Ratcliffe. Would be the one to talk about. We're talking about Clapper. On and off. Admits the U.S. Air Force had databases of UAPs back to the 60s and 70s after years of denial. No, they've had them there the entire time. The reason they were put in place back, Mike, in 1947 was to cover what? The UFO cover-up, right?
Right.
That's why they were brought in. So it should be no surprise, my friend, that the U.S. Air Force is covering this up. Let's play this little clip of Matt Ford. Have you full privilege? Here we go.
I think that in the movie there was one particular thing that many people missed that he had to say that was of really what I consider great importance. I think you know what I'm talking about.
You want me to say what I think it is and then correct me?
Yeah, we'll see if we're on the same page.
There's a moment where Clapper did some reflection, and you could see he was being very careful with his choice of words, but he said that back in the Air Force, when he was, back in A2, Air Force Intelligence, that they had a database, and they were collecting. Obviously, to have a database, you have to collect information to feed that database of vehicles of unknown origin, right? Of, in essence, unidentified anomalous phenomenon, right? And that was kind of a holy cow moment. I'm surprised you're the only one who picked that up. If this is what you're referring to, if I'm mistaken,
yes.
Let me know. Right. So I think that's a big moment. I think, I'm surprised more people didn't pick up on that. I would think that'd be on headlines, right? Former Director of National Intelligence, former Director of DIA, and former Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence admits that the Air Force had databases back in the 60s and 70s. You just got that on camera after all these years of denial. No, Blue Book, nothing to see here, folks. Oh, well, actually, we were seeing it, and we were collecting on it. We're trying to understand it.
You survived the short, now...
There we go.
Good clip.
Great words from Lou Elizondo, Mike.
They were.
He speaks the truth one more time.
Yep. He did. You could also tell by the tone in his voice that he means what he's talking about. He believes it, and he's telling the truth. So that was good points that he put out there publicly.
And then some.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the last time he came on the show, he told us there was a lot going on behind the scenes in Washington. And there's going to be good things coming down the road. Let's wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully something good.
Can't wait to see where it goes, Mike. Can't wait to see where it goes.
You and I both.
On that note, I want to thank everybody for coming out for this episode of Disclosure tonight. And more importantly, I want to thank our friends who gave us super chats tonight. And I know we've got one from Daryl in the back, Daryl Zernick. It didn't show up. I guess I had the back end set up appropriately wrong, but we also got another one coming from Brian Premble. Thank you very much. We love everybody for your love and support of Disclosure tonight. We try to do our best. This is something we have a passion for, and we're here, not for us, but for everybody, because we all deserve disclosure. So if you had a good time, you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We'll love to have you as a regular. Last time I asked that question, I had 20 people drop off the show, so... Have fun, folks. But more importantly, if you had a good time, give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below. Love to hear what you have to say. We usually get about 200 thumbs up, Mike, which is great for what we try to do here. And no, I'm not a gray. Granted, I may have dealt with them when I was a kid, but no, I'm not a gray.
No, far from it.
Oh, absolutely, my friends. Mike, I appreciate you coming out tonight, everyone in the back.
Oh, my pleasure. Another great show, Thomas. Thank you for putting all this together. It was fun.
As we should be, my friend, because we're here not just for us, but we're here for you. And as we usually say, Mike, at the end of every one of our episodes, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody, and watch out for that wooden spoon.
Yep.
Go back to Party City where you belong.
Absolutely. We'll catch you on the flip side. Good night, everybody. Love you. Y'all come back now here. Talk to you soon.